Hey everyone, it's David here. So I want to talk to you today about understanding your contract and understanding the agreement that you're going in with someone and getting them to understand it as well. This applies to all levels, but primarily right now, tax funds and the states that I do tax funds where I do not need an attorney to collect. Okay, this is called, so there's two documents that are going to be signed or given to my claimant. This first one will be notarized by my claimant to my corporation. It's an assignment of interest. My claimant is taking their funds and assigning them to my corporation. So in the first box, is their name and their address, and assigning it to, and this is my corporation. This is an actual date. This is an actual contract, and here was the legal description. It was a very small amount, and it's the parcel number, the tax deed number with the county. My client will then, and it's the amount of the actual unclaimed funds that were there. Now, sometimes these funds do get dipped into, and it may not be that amount. Say it's $10,000 and they owed $5,000 to the IRS. Well, even though you could put $10,000 there, you're only going to see $5,000 of that more than likely. And they go ahead and they notarize this, and this becomes my corporation. So I explain this to my client, and what I say is it's an assignment of interest. This will give my corporation, this will allow my corporation to be able to collect the funds and deposit them on your behalf. Most of my clients, actually every single one that I've ever said that to that's agreed to do the contract, is perfectly okay with that. It's a corporation, it's going in, and it's being assigned. The second one, and this protects both me and my client, is signed by me. Here's an actual date of one, and I put my business name there. I blotted these out. This is just my client. This is, and this again was a fairly small one. Typically I do 30% of what I keep, and I give them 70. But if it's something like 5,000, I do a 50-50, or if it's the lower, the higher I go up. I've never gone above 50%. So what I do is I sign this, and I have them keep this for their records. And if they come back and they say, hey, you promised me 70%, I'll say, no, on April 16th of 2020, when we did this agreement, if you look at the contingency agreement I gave you, it said this much percent, here's what we're cutting you. Plus, I also take off fees, like if I provide the notary, whatever, I take those fees off the top too, and I make that very clear to my client, and I send them a receipt just for their records. The last form is one that's required by the county. This one is just that I'm collecting and I'm the claimant. So once the funds have been assigned to my corporation, I have the right to go ahead and collect the funds, and I go ahead and I fill this out. I notarize this document, and I send it in with the other two originals here directly to the county clerk. Now, there is a lot of times where additional information will be needed. If they were married and the spouse is deceased, they're going to want a death certificate from the county. They're going to want possibly a marriage certificate. They're going to want other forms that you might have to produce, and you just have to find that out within the documentation that you need. If it's an error, it's dealing with the deceased, you're going to have probate, a will, or something that proves that it goes to the deceased, and then you're in line to go and get this and an agreement. And the counties do like it when you send this contingency agreement. They do like to see your claimants paid, so I go ahead and send this in within my documentation. It really doesn't matter. I have the rights to it, but they've asked for it. Plus, I have a name down there, so when I call them and they know who I am, they know who my corporation is, they know that people get paid. It's a lot more credibility on my part versus there's people that will try to take people and promise them something and not give it to them, and they have everything documented, and it's like, yeah, I did this, and if anything ever came back at me, it would protect me. So this is what I explain to my client, and this is how I get the forms and the forms that I have going. Hope this helps, and let me know if you like this video, and I will see you in the next one. Take care.